drop ke kembali sana lagi.
Formal work to leadership and real work, and if you can do it in a constructive way where nobody feels that somebody else is being denied an opportunity because someone else has been given one, but just that everybody is getting a level playing field that they deserve to be able to run and win, then I believe we can unlock enormous opportunity and enormous potential for the future. Inside this is a serious issue of cultural biases and historical biases against this topic. So it's not that easy to do, it's easy to speak to. But I've seen firsthand over the years, Shags, when I was in my prior job back at Citibank and MasterCard, that if you enable a lady of the house with social and economic independence, she transforms her family forever. So the multiplier effect of her ability to not only transform her life, but that of those around her is why I believe that unlocking the potential of this dormant opportunity is enormous for our future. It fits into many things. In climate, to be completely honest, I have this way of describing man versus humanity as the challenge for nature. I was told man versus humanity is politically incorrect. I should use, I should say humanity versus nature. I actually still think I'm right. It's man versus humanity. That's a challenge on nature, because it's the men who like their Humvees and their big trucks and so on. I've never seen a woman really enjoying a Humvee to drive. And so I just think this is a deep issue, whether in a village or a town. That's the first thing. The second piece is, you cannot get this out of the way, that cultural bias, without clear light being shined on the data that can embarrass people about why they should do things differently. So one of the things that we want to do is to use our ability to create data and the transparency of data to make this conversation come above water and have a really good discussion. The third part of this is that the regulatory laws in many countries, you look at our Women in Law report, it tells you that women don't have the same rights across certain parts of the world. And I think, again, we can be helpful in both shining a light, but also helping to move those policies in the right way, from asset ownership to business ownership and the like. And then the last two things I'd say we're getting them in is, you cannot get them to come to work from where they live if you don't give them safety in going and coming. And so safety comes in many ways. Of course, better policing, but a bus rapid transit system, which has benefits on climate, actually has enormous benefits in the safety of a woman going to work and coming back. And the same is true of things like childcare. The historical role that a woman plays in a family's evolution needs to be managed in a way that we enable her to also do this other thing we're talking about. And so there are things the bank is doing already on all of these. I just think bringing a light to them, focusing on them, and multiplying our effort with ambitious targets, aligning all parts of the bank to do it, and working with partners like these is what will make a difference.
So the Worldbank has long championed gender equality, and this year you launched a new gender strategy focused on 3 pillars, ending...
Still with me?
Yes, actually. Still with you. We want to hear more from you. So there are 3 pillars to this new gender strategy, right? Ending gender-based violence and...
I'm Esther Michel, and I'm the founder of Credassur Group, and we are connecting investors to Africa. More and more investors are afraid to invest in Africa. But now that I saw your presentation, I see that there are possibilities. Especially, I have a question for Nina. So, do you have such a level of insurance, and do you have also countries with who we are not working with? So, are there special conditions for a country to be insured by NIGA?
So, as MIGA, we look to serve all the IBRD, either countries, all low and middle income countries, to support investment. And as I mentioned, since July 1st, we have not just MIGA balance sheet, but also IGA, IBRD, IFC balance sheets to provide guarantees to projects. These can be public sector projects, private sector projects. FDI is a big part of what MIGA can support now, guarantee platform, but we can also support others. And what this platform has also given us is, in terms of risk appetite, it is greater. As I said, these balance sheets all have the ability to take different risks of different scale. So we're able to put that to use, combine them as necessary, and we're also looking to innovate around this as well. So no, I would any particular country, for whatever reason, from its ability to attract investment and with the support of guarantees. And as mentioned earlier, the private sector window, where we're not able to somehow support a particular country for maybe very fragile or very risky, it could be one reason, we can tap into the private sector window to be able to do that. So I think since July 1st, we've really broadened the range of tools we have, increased our risk appetite, ability to innovate, and very importantly, deliver with more speed to these countries so that projects can come to fruition.
And industrial complementarities. In particular, GCC Sovereign Wealth Fund can play a pivotal role here. Managing over $4 trillion in assets, they are transforming from merely just financial saving instruments to active participants in the GCC economic transformation. Recently, Sovereign Wealth Fund in GCC have increasingly invested in advanced technology and clean energy, although the majority of their investment have remained in traditional industries and infrastructure. Using comprehensive deal and project level data over more than 20 years, our research delves deep into GCC investment, their impact on non-hydrocarbon GDP growth and economic diversification, and the role played by sovereign wealth fund.
Our research shows promising trends. Foreign investment into the GCC are growing, and in 2023, they were almost 4 times of a decade ago larger. Also, this is still relatively low compared to other countries at similar level of economic development. The positive trend reflects both global factors, such as international investors seeking higher returns in GCC, and GCC countries' efforts to attract foreign investments. Such efforts include reforms to liberalize foreign investment regulations and foster a more business-friendly economic environment. GCC reforms led not only to the higher levels of foreign investments into the GCC, but also to the change in the sectoral composition of these investments. As we show on the slide, investment into the marketable services sectors has gained prominence after the COVID or pandemic, receiving about 70% of foreign investments in industries like transportation and logistics, information and communications technology, health, hospitality, and professional and business services.
Not only are these countries attracting investment from abroad, they are also increasing their investment to other countries and establishing strategic partnership with international investors. The total outward of investment from GCC to others have almost doubled since 2010, reaching about 8% of total GCC GDP in 2023. However, there are large differences from country to country. This upward trend has been mainly driven by Saudi Arabia and UAE. Both have been scaling up their outward investment significantly since 2018, but that in other GCC economies have remained relatively stable. And similar to inward investment, GCC countries have been increasingly invested in foreign marketable services, accounting for more than half of the total outward investment. And these services include knowledge-intensive services, for example, the ICT sector, which could be a vital conduit for knowledge sharing, technology transfer, and innovation. And moreover, sovereign wealth funds have been the main vehicle for this upward trend, driving more than 80% of the total value of the outward investment in our database.
So, what are the economic impacts of these investments and partnerships on GCC growth? Our analysis indicates that a 1% of GDP increase in foreign investments into the GCC corresponds to above 1 percentage point increase in real non-hydrocarbon GDP growth over 5 years, as we show on the slide with red line at the top. This impact is nearly 3 times larger than that of domestic investments in our database.
L'année 2024 a été une année avec beaucoup d'impact pour Credassur. J'ai eu à voyager à Washington, invité par la Banque mondiale et le Fonds monétaire international pour cette conférence annuelle. J'ai rencontré plusieurs personnalités importantes comme les directeurs de mobilisation des fonds de la Banque mondiale, les secrétaires généraux des pays de l'Union des pays du Golfe, le secrétaire général de l'Union des banques arabes, plusieurs fonds d'investissement et aussi les secrétaires généraux de l'Union des banques arabes. C'était une rencontre très riche qui a fait de Credassur 2024 une année très impactante et nous avons eu plusieurs partenariats signés en 2024. Et franchement, c'était
Bonjour Madame Esther. Alors là, on a vu qu'il y avait la conférence de la Banque mondiale et le Fonds monétaire international. Et Credassur était invité par la Banque mondiale. Pouvez-vous nous donner plus de détails sur comment la conférence s'est passée?
Bonjour Madame. Voilà, c'est vrai que Credassur était invité par la Banque mondiale et le Fonds monétaire international. C'est dans le cadre de nos activités d'accompagnement, donc de promotion des investissements pour l'Afrique, l'accompagnement de l'entrepreneuriat, l'accompagnement des startups de la diaspora et les startups africaines. C'était 6 journées intenses de réunions. Donc nous avons eu plusieurs ateliers avec plusieurs thématiques sur l'employabilité des jeunes, sur aussi le leadership féminin, l'investissement en Afrique et dans les pays du Sud. Il y a aussi sur le financement. Il y a plusieurs thématiques. Les thématiques qui m'ont plus intéressé, c'était sur le financement. Et c'était un plaisir pour moi, un honneur d'être invité par la Banque mondiale. Nous avons eu plusieurs contacts intéressants. Donc j'ai échangé avec les directeurs de mobilisation de fonds de la Banque mondiale qui est intéressée à travailler, à collaborer avec Credassur. Nous avons aussi la directrice de l'assurance voilà, qui est là pour assurer les investissements MIGA, donc les investissements en Afrique. On a échangé sur voilà, des possibilités de collaboration aussi. Et aussi la fondation Bill Gates qui est très intéressée par ce que nous faisons. Donc du coup, j'y retourne aujourd'hui et en rentrant, nous avons prévu plusieurs réunions de suivi avec toutes les institutions, le Fonds monétaire international, la Banque mondiale, la fondation Bill Gates. Et aussi, j'ai été reçue, donc il y a eu des réceptions qui ont été organisées après chaque journée des conférences par les regroupements des banques des pays arabes. Nous avons aussi j'ai rencontré les secrétaires généraux de la Confédération de coopération des pays du Golfe qui est très intéressée à collaborer avec Credassur. Comme quoi, j'ai eu vraiment des très bons contacts. Je suis très satisfaite de cette mission. Je rentre vraiment comblée, satisfaite parce que voilà, j'ai eu des échanges très enrichissants et intéressants.
Et pouvez-vous nous dire plus, parce qu'on apprend que l'année prochaine, en octobre, il y aura aussi une conférence annuelle et Credassur sera aussi participant. Pouvez-vous nous donner plus de détails sur ça?
Oui, donc pour la conférence annuelle l'année prochaine, ça sera en octobre, du 17 au 19 octobre, toujours ici à Washington. Credassur sera partenaire, donc cette fois-ci nous aurons organisé une activité à côté comme les autres l'ont fait, c'est de l'Asie, donc il y a eu des Indiens qui ont organisé des soirées cette année, les Arabes, les gens des pays du Golfe, et l'année prochaine l'Afrique sera aussi représentée. Donc ensemble avec les agences de promotion des investissements de l'Afrique, dès que je rentre, je vais organiser une réunion avec les ambassadeurs parce que je